All right, everybody, get ready for math. This is your math for Wednesday, April 22nd. Get your marker boards ready. I'll give you a second to do that, or you can pause the video. What we're going to do today is an extension of what we did on Monday when we were doing those number grid puzzles. And so we're going to start out with some mental math today. That's why our marker boards are out. I think for you to be able to do those number grid puzzles and then for you to do what we're doing today, you've got to know place value. Place value is important. I've been quizzing Cooper on it, trying to get him to understand his place value. He's in the room with me, so maybe he's going to listen and then he'll kind of absorb some of this while you guys do too. So first thing I want you to do is I want you just to write the number 12 on your marker board, okay? And then I want you to circle for me the number that's in the tens place. Okay, so what you should have circled was the 1. So we stop and think about this, and we stop and think about the number 12, and we think about it in terms of base 10 blocks. If we had a 2, we would be drawing 2 cubes, right? The number 2 just means you have 2 of something. 2 jelly beans, 2 cookies, 2 shoes, whatever it might be, you've got 2. And that's our ones place. But this one over here that's in our tens place, we would draw, we usually just draw just a stick, or we can make it look a little bit more like a long. That would be representing a 10. Because this 1 in that place means that you have 10. It's not just a 1. It's not like just having 1 cookie. It's like having 10 cookies because it's in the tens place. So that's why it is so important that we know the difference between our places and what those represent. The ones place is always representing groups of 1, smaller numbers of things, like from 1 to 9. And then our tens place is representing groups of 10 things. So let's look at a few more. Go ahead and write the number 18 on your board and circle the number that's in the tens place. Okay, so you should have circled the 1. Again, this 8 represents like 8 cubes. And this 1 represents 1 long, but that 1 is in the tens place, so it means 10. If I broke this number down in another way, it could be like this. This is a 10. This is just an 8 because it's in the ones place. And look what happens when we put those together. 10 plus 8 is 18. That's the number that we originally started with. So if you're still struggling with place value, think about how you have to break a number down that way. Think about how that 1 isn't just a 1. Because if we pretended it was just a 1 and we added, oh, that's supposed to be an 8, and we added those together, look what we'd get, 9. Well, 9 is not the same thing as 18. So this is why place value is so important. Let's erase that and go ahead and put 30 on your board and then circle the number that's in the tens place. Okay, so you should have circled the 3. And now let's look at that one. What does this 3 mean? That 3 means that you would be drawing 3 longs. That 3 right there represents 3 tens, which means 30. And that 0 in the ones place means we have no ones. But we have to put that there as a placeholder. Because if we didn't have that there, it would just look like the number 3. And number 3 and number 30 aren't the same, are they? So place value is very important, knowing the difference between ones and tens. So let me switch. Let me have you write a 28, and this time circle the ones. See if you can go back and forth in your brain. I'm asking you to circle the ones this time. Should have circled the 8. I'm going to do a couple more and just move a little bit faster now that I've done all that explanation. Go ahead and let's do a bigger number. Oh, let's do 261. And I want you to circle the number in the ones place. Okay, should have circled the 1. Even as our numbers are growing and getting bigger and going all the way up into hundreds, this is still the ones. This one's still the tens. And that one is the hundreds place. All right, last one. Let's use this number, 514. Circle the number in the ones place. Should be circling the 4. And then still thinking to yourself, there's the ones. So I know that this one's the tens. And in case you're thinking about it, that one's the hundreds. Ones, tens, and hundreds. Remember we watched that video with the wolf a long time ago, and that's how they sang it. Ones, tens, and hundreds. So you're going to want place value to help you work through our lesson today, because our goal today is going to be to add and subtract 10 and to try to do it mentally. So you do have the number grid that's in your packet that you can use to check your answers, but you want to see that you can do this in your heads. All right, so there are several ways for you to practice. And if you look in your directions, we've only given you one of those ways, but if you'll write this down, and I'll try to remember to put it in my parent square message, I'm going to give you a couple other pages that I think would be good practice. So the first one is in your packet, and it's on, it's in this packet. I'm flipping through the wrong one. It's a home link, and it's page 256. And I want to just do one of these real quick so you can see how this is supposed to be filled out, because it's a lot of words. So you might have someone at home just give you a number from 10 to 99. So say someone at home shouted out the number 53. So I'm going to write down 53, okay? Then what it says is there are blank 10s and blank 1s in 53. 53 is my number. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, 53. And then I'm going to look at that number and I'm going to take it apart. How many 10s are there? Well, there's 5. Because there's a 5 in the 10s place. And there are 3 1s. So that's how I finish that sentence. There are 5 10s and 3 1s in 53. 10 more than 53 is, and then 10 less than 53 is. So you can see where I took the number 53 and it went into lots of places. That might be what you want to do first, so then it's not so confusing to finish all these sentences. So now here's the part where I have to be able to try to do 10 more or 10 less mentally. So 10 more than 53. Well, if I'm finding 10 more, that means I'm changing my 10s place. More means bigger, so that 5 is going to become a 6. 10 more than 53 is 63. And then this one says 10 less than 53. Well, remember, we're still talking about 10s, so I got to focus on my 10s place. And less means smaller, so 10 less than 53 means I'm going to change that to a 4, and it becomes 43. So there's an example of what that's going to look like. So I want you to have somebody at home give you 2 different numbers, and I want you to try to fill that out. And then the one at the bottom is just a story problem practice for you to practice adding 3 numbers together. So that's what's in your directions in your packet. But what I wanted to give you beyond that is some other things that might help. Grab some scrap paper, and you can make little cards like this that say -10, +1, +10, -1. And you could use these and just practice real easily on the couch, in the kitchen, wherever you might be at. Someone can give you a number, like the number 49. And then I draw a card, and it's -10, so I've got to mentally try to figure out 49 minus 10. 49, there's a 4 in the 10s place, so I need to change that number. If it's less, it's smaller. 39, I think it's 39. That's how that's going to happen mentally. That's what you need to be thinking in your head. And then ask a brother or sister, someone in your house, to give you another number. Say, give me another number. Oh, they give you 26. And then you draw the next card. This one's +1, so I stop and think 26. I'm only adding 1. That means the number in my 1's place is going to change. 26 plus 1, that's the next number. It's 27. Okay, so that would be a quick and easy thing for you to do. Doesn't require a lot. Just have someone make up a number, draw a card, and see if you can mentally figure out what it is. Now, the other 2 pages that I think would be good practice for you, these are in your math journal. And it's page 182 and 183. So they're right next to each other. But they are all about mentally finding 10 more and 10 less. So work on finishing those 2 pages, even though it wasn't in the original packet. It's good practice. Send some pictures of those to me, and I can give you some feedback and see how you're doing on finding 10 more and 10 less. So that's the goal of our whole lesson today, is being able to do that and being able to try to do it in our heads. And so you're going to have to remember place value. Remember that if we're doing 10 more and 10 less, we're changing the number in the 10s place. Okay? So that was our goal. If you need to replay the video, because I know sometimes I talk kind of fast and I give you a lot of information, or if you need to go back and pause the video so you can find this example and so you know how to copy it onto your own using a different number, those are all things that you can easily do by pausing the video and rewinding it and watching it again. All right, let me know if you have questions.